What is going on, everybody? Good morning. So today we traded OPGN after looking at eyes. Eyes wasn't giving us much, so you can see here I recorded the whole morning trying to figure out the eyes. But kept giving us these false breakouts. I got tired of looking at it. It's kind of tricky to look at, honestly, so I switched over to OPGN. And I noticed more of a cleaner pattern in OPGN. OPGN has a free float of 28.11 million, has enormous relative volume. Today's volume is 344.43 million, and on average it trades at 3.69 million. So definitely it's trading about 93 times more than it does on average, and its spread is only 1 cent. So it's beautiful stock to trade, especially it's a NASDAQ stock. It's a cheaper stock. And right here I drew out this pattern, a descending resistance. You notice there lower highs. However, we also notice here that there was consolidation happening, but a little bit to the upside. So we were waiting for it to break above 349. Why? Because we didn't want it to fall like it did here. If you notice the similarities, it's kind of ascending upwards, both of these, and then boom, flush down, right? We did not want to fall victims to that flush down if it followed that pattern. Therefore, we had to wait patiently for it to break not only the descending resistance, but also above that 349 resistance area. Also, we have to keep in mind that the $half marks are psychological resistance or support, depending on which direction it's going, up or down. Right here, it's going up. Therefore, this, based on this context, the $half is a resistance or a ceiling that it has to break above. And you notice here 348 and 350, there's large sellers or on the ask right there. So it's trying to decide what it wants to do. We do have this ascending support line in our favor, so that's the very minimum that we're looking at too. It has to hold this ascending support line. If it doesn't hold that ascending support line, it should at least hold that 344. Yeah, that 334, excuse me. So it's there. It's trying to figure out what it wants to do. We're just sitting there patiently. You can see there it finally breaks above the descending resistance, but we're not adding yet. Not yet. We're sitting patiently. There's still that 349, and then we're marking up. We're putting here that there's resistance at 358 as well, getting ready for the trade. And here it comes, testing 348, 349. Notice that we kind of anticipate that boom. Once you've looked at stocks enough, you kind of anticipate a boom upwards, like it's gonna squeeze, so you want to get in before the squeeze. So it does eventually pop off after we add towards 358. There's a lot of sellers around this area. Now we're in the trade, very small position. It goes back down towards 350s to test that as a previously broken resistance, which is now a support. Breaks below it a little bit. We're like, darn, it has a freaking topping tail on the 1 minute chart. Great. So we're still in the trade. We're just chilling, letting it play out. Our stop loss is at 340, near or underneath this one pivot there. So now it goes up to 358 again. It breaks above it just a little bit towards 364, 365, the top of this 1 minute candle. And now it's testing 358 area as a support since it just broke above it. We're thinking, okay, it's squeezed up. It looks kind of extended on the 1 minute. And there's a lot of, each 1 minute candle has a topping tail, meaning that it's rejecting higher prices. But we're waiting. We're not raising our stop loss yet. We're thinking about raising our stop loss at this point until it breaks above that 340, that 364 area. So we're chilling. We're waiting. There it comes. It's testing that support again. It's sort of consolidating. You notice it's trading sideways within this range. So we're not raising our stop loss just yet. Notice there's a large bid there at 355, 37,000 shares. And we switch over to QQQs here to see that QQQs had been selling off throughout the morning, and then it made a U-turn. So now it's moving upwards. And since OPGN and QQQ are basically follow NASDAQ. We were looking at the similarities between each, and there it goes. It's finally pushing up towards 365. Notice how it's resisting higher prices up there, hence the resistance. There's a ceiling there at 365. Thinking, okay, if it breaks above that area again, we may raise our stop loss. But then if it comes back down, we have that 355 bid. So it broke above it just a little bit, but then it came back down. And we're just 2 cents away from our take profit there. Comes back down, test that 355 bid, 33,000 shares now. Notice earlier there was 37. Now there's only 33. So it's decreasing. We're thinking, darn, if it breaks below that 355, there's no other huge bid. Well, at least as nearly as big as that one down here. So that's our only floor that we have as of the moment to hold on to. So as soon as it started making its way back up, we raise our stop loss right below that 355 and 354, because that's our bid area or support area there. We know that there's enough buyers, but if those buyers suddenly they just disappear, the stock might fall down, right? So we're raise our stop loss to just above break even. Now we can't lose in this trade. We're just chilling, waiting for it. Now we get a push back up towards that 365, still resistance there. We're thinking, darn, just one little push more. Boom. And that's when we finally take our profit. 370, 1 cent, boom. And yeah, there's that resistance at 373. And keeps hitting that resistance. A lot of sellers up there as well. Notice the increase in volume. Is it gonna keep popping off? Keeps getting resistance there, you see. Keeps hitting resistance. QQQ is making another U-turn back down, so OPGN might follow. And yeah, right here, OPGN eventually did break above it, but then it sank right here. Eventually OPGN did break above, hitting 405, and then it just sank down after that. Yep, this is like the area where we took the trade. And then boom, it just freaking flashed down, and now it's trading sideways to the downside. Well, that's it. I'm making it short since I have to go get ready for working that evening job. It is a little more tiring now. However, we are still showing up. The market has been selling off lately, so still trying to get used to trading when the market is overall selling off. I know the best traders can make money whether the stock market is selling down or up, whatever. We'll get there one day. But as of now, we're taking advantage of what we know, and we are enhancing what we know in order to eventually move on to what we don't know, and also dominate those sectors. Thanks folks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.